Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have noticed lately I've been really tutorial focused and I've been doing a lot of really in-depth videos. So today I just wanted to kind of relax a little bit and just get ready with you guys. I do go through, and if I don't mention the product, I'll leave it down below. But I did do everything here today on camera except for my brows. So if you want to hang out with me, get ready, play around with makeup, and make sure to keep on watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do upload 3 times a week, and that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you can be notified of every single time I upload. And let's jump right into the video. So for the past few days, I've been playing with the Sephora Super Hydrating Mattifying Moisturizer. It's meant to be like a 2-in-1 oil control and moisture in one. And I've been really liking it. I do think that it does help to control oils throughout the day, but I don't think it does much to the tune of blurring. So I do still take something a little bit more smoothening on top, but that's pretty much where I draw the line as far as priming. And I just feel like lately, Tarte Clean Slate, I will list all of the items that I'm using down below as I always do. I say I always do. I've been really good the last I want to say 6 or 8 videos, maybe 12. Before that, I got a little lazy with it, I'm not going to lie. And that's part of why I am filming today's video. Well, there's a couple reasons. The first is that I noticed I have become super 90,000 makeup steps, and I wanted to do something on my channel for you guys that was a little bit more low-key, a little less over the top with all of the steps and all of the makeup and 19 different thousand products. And another reason, I was going through I don't really tell you guys what I'm filming in advance just because if I don't film it, you guys get disappointed, and if I do, it's complicated. Anyway, I am currently in the process of prepping a Shop My Stash video where I dig into some forgotten favorites, and I have been really playing around with things that I haven't been using on my channel for a while now. So this concealer that I'm using today is not the concealer I'm going to be using in that video, but it's another concealer that I really liked, especially this time of year. I know that in the summertime, I like to go in with a touch of concealer and then either a super lightweight foundation, or sometimes I'll just go in with a powder. And going in with this concealer just to give myself a little bit of brightness in the center of the face is all I want is for coverage. Plus, a couple of you guys have noticed that I've been a little extra bougie lately. I've been really using more high-end products. So I do want to take a step back from that and really focus on playing around with some more drugstore stuff. I'm still going to use all of my expensive stuff because obviously I do love it, but I'm going to be a little bit more mindful of, using things that are a little bit less bougie. So you guys will remember I did do a review on the Tarte Found Sealer, and I did tell you guys that it was not full coverage, which for the summer is actually really nice. I definitely, most of the time in the winter, want something with a lot more coverage to it, but this time of year, taking a tiny bit of that and blending it around where I put that concealer is going to give me the perfect, barely there, lightweight, medium-ish coverage finish. And then with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush Finishing Powder, I'm just going to lock the entire face in place. I love how I said this was going to be much more lightweight and a lot less steps, and I'm basically on track to use the exact same steps I always use. I try, I really do. But the one thing that I do like to do a lot different during the summer is I'll try to be a little bit more lightweight. So I'm using the Hourglass palette that I got around the holidays. I'm using that for bronzer, blush, contour, brightening. I love taking these light diffusing shades in the top corner just to make everything a little bit glowy a little bit more skin-like, so everything just looks a little more fresh-faced. During the winter, I definitely tend to be a little more, for lack of a better word, heavy. But the second summer hits, I like things to be just a little bit more effortless, a little more seamless. Definitely more of like that, as close to a your skin but better vibe without it getting like super over the top. I also do definitely tend to go in with a lot more bronzer and blush this time of year. In the winter, my skin is pretty fair, so I tend to really just go for a little bit of blush and a little bit of glow and contour. The second we hit the summer, I start to chisel. I go in with like super sculpting and bronzer and blush, and then I add more blush, and then I take a little bit more blush even on top of that. And next thing I know, my cheeks are like super rosy, and I don't even mind. Like, this looks like a heavy hand for what I normally do, but for this time of year, I am not complaining. Now, I am going to take a touch of my Fenty bronzer just to kind of blend out some of this rosiness, because it's a little overboard. I like it, but I don't need to be wearing this much blush today. And then I'm just going to veil that a little bit, which is where you take your setting powder and just lightly set down your blush just to gently tone it down a little bit. And it looks a lot more like, when I look to the side, you don't really see it as much. When it's straight on, you really get the full effect of that. So definitely something else to think about is how things wear on the skin. A lot of times you guys see me right here head on. You guys see me under studio lights. So I do tend to go pretty heavy, but like once I turn to the side or once I'm not in studio lights, the blush definitely looks a lot different. I've actually gotten a few questions about that. Like, how do I do my makeup differently on camera versus how I wear it in real life? And the short answer is, for the most part, what I do on camera is what I do in real life. However, there are certain things that I definitely build up a lot more on camera just for you guys to see it. Like, I am a huge fan of glow. You guys know that. I will be blinding highlight forever. That's something I do no matter what I'm doing. Like, if I'm going out, I am glowy and super vibrant on the highlighter for the cheekbones and anywhere else I want to pull forward. But like, I definitely amp up the blush a little bit more for camera, and I'm definitely a lot more sharp in my contour. In real life, I tend to like just add some bronzer. I will contour a little bit, but not nearly as much as I tend to do on camera. All right, so I did quickly just throw on a quick brow and prime my eyelids off camera. Picking a palette is always like the hardest part of my day. I know that's really like first world problems, but seriously, picking a palette takes more effort out of me than like anything. I think I'm gonna use my Huda Nude again. I used this in a video recently and I just really liked it. I do want to try something a little more like sultry and smoky. So rather than starting with a transition shade, I'm just going to really build up the outer portion. I'll blend it out with a transition shade in a little bit, but I really want to do something a little bit like more dramatic. This is actually a concealer brush that I picked up at Sephora. It was like $8 or something, because I have noticed that in all of Natasha Denona's Instagram stories, she uses a like, it is a concealer brush, but she uses a brush like this to start her eyeshadow looks, and she does it just like this. She will stamp and press around the outer portion of the eye and then lightly start to blend up, and all of her looks start like this. They're like very heavy on the outer corner, but then once she starts to really blend it out, it just becomes really beautiful. So I'm going to grab a Makeup Shack T11 and dip into Teddy right up here, and I'm just going to blend out the edges. Then going on to a T50, I'm going to take Play, and that's going to serve as our transition. I'm just going to take that to really blend out the edges. And you see how easy of a blend that was for like the base of whatever smoky eye you want. Taking that same first brush on that same first shade, just going to lightly pat and re-intensify the darkest shade. Then I'm going to take Fantasy up here. This is the only shimmer in the palette I have not used yet. It's like a rose gold. Oh, it's got like a purple shift to it. That's really pretty. I'm going to press that onto the lid. Just going to blend those edges. And then just to brighten it a little bit, I'm going to take some of Daydream down here, which is more of a frosty pink. And I'm going to press a tiny bit of that just in the center of the lid. We're not doing like a full-on halo, but I definitely want a little bit of that spotlight of lightness in the very center of the lid. I'm really happy with how that looks. It's like the right amount of halo without it actually being a halo eye. I like that. I'm going to take a touch more of the transition shade and just blend out the edges. And I'm basically going to do everything I just did, but mirrored on the lower lash line. I'm going to throw on some quick brown liner in the waterline and some mascara, and I'll be right back. Don't you love how what starts off as I'm going to go super soft and effortless turns into a, like, pink smoky eye? Like, is that actually a thing? Do people genuinely do that? I do. For lipstick, I'm going to line with the Artist Color Pencil in Whatever Walnut from Makeup Forever. This has turned into... I always try talking to you as I'm lining my lips, and it never works out in my favor. But this has turned into one of my favorite lip liners. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillow Talk over the top. And because it's summer and we want it to be a little lighter, I'm going to grab a little bit of gloss right over the top. And I think I genuinely made it like 2/3 of the video before it turned into a tutorial. So for me, in a Get Ready With Me, that is an accomplishment. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!